Hi, welcome back. How y'all doing? I just realized I'm like looking at this background behind me and it's still like so ugly. I just need to figure out something to do with it, but it's on the bottom of my list right now. Bear with me. Hey y'all, I am Kat. I am kind of giving you a behind the scenes on like starting a small business, self-publishing, creating a children's book, and everything kind of enveloped with that. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely subscribe. I'd love to have you around. Throw me a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. It definitely helps me out. Today I wanted to show you guys how I'm printing items because I kind of had to figure this out, and I think I figured out something that really works well, and it's a really awesome thing to add on to your business. The cost is very low to have things like printed and to make things this way. So it's an awesome thing you can add into your business, and I just wanted to show you very quickly how I do it. It's not very hard. Even I figured it out. So just for example, these are one of the items that I'm going to have available on launch day. So I will be laminating the top half of this paper. I'm not going to do like a full lamination. I'm just going to do it on the top half so that way the paper just holds up a little bit longer, because when I tested it with just the paper, the top part that sticks out of the book just got like thrashed way too quickly. So I wanted to put an extra layer of protection for you guys. Make sure you weren't just getting something that was going to get thrashed really quickly. So with this, I kind of had to play around with the sizing, especially giving a border on it. And because I don't know if it was my printer, but it was like cutting a lot off of the one side. And so I had to play around with it a little bit, but ultimately I did get it to work and I got to fit 6 on a page. So this is a heavier cardstock paper. So this is basically the heaviest cardstock I could get that my printer would take. And so it's just 110-pound paper. It's just a heavier cardstock paper, obviously. But other than that top portion sticking out, the paper held up really well. I mean, obviously it's like with inside the book, so it shouldn't get really thrashed in the inside, but it held up really well. So I'm going to be using this cardstock also for Mother James's recipes that I'm going to have on launch day. So I'm going to show you guys that today. Okay, so obviously we are in Canva right now. I do have Canva Pro. It was honestly a long time before I got Canva Pro, but then there was just some features and stuff that I really wanted to use for the business. And because I'm going to be using it for my business specifically, I can also write it off as a deduction at the end of the year. So I will be keeping track of all that. So with that, so these are some of the recipes that I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save this. And I do want to save it as a PNG, and then I'm going to show you guys why. So we're going to download this, and I like to just pop out these downloads onto my desktop. I just find them like they're really quick to get to when I'm trying to insert them or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and create, I just do a custom size. I just do 8.5 by 11. I have it saved in there, so it's just really easy. So once this uploads, then we simply go over to uploads. We're going to upload a file. We're going to upload that. And then once that's all there, we're going to click that and it pops right over in here. Now with this portion, so you can use this slider bar here to adjust the viewpoint of the paper. So you can kind of make it bigger or smaller. And let's go ahead and hide that. But so here I'm going to size it to the size that I actually want. So you can see these little numbers here are showing the actual dimensions of what it's going to come out as. So you want to make sure you're having it the size that you want. Okay, so then once it's all set like that, so I do like to keep a little bit of a border around this side just in case the printer chooses to be weird. So, and then I'm just going to duplicate it. And then I'm going to see, okay, so we can't quite fit 2 on here. So what I'm going to do is actually going to make these just a hair smaller. And then once I actually print them off, I'll see if it's a good size. If not, then we'll fix it. So, and then I'm going to duplicate that just because I'm wanting to get as much out of each sheet as possible. I don't want to just waste a bunch of paper if just making them smaller gets me more and then there's less waste on it. So here, so this way I can fit 6 on a page. So that's awesome. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit share. I'm going to hit download. And then what I have found to be the best form of printing is the PDF print. And then I go here to the color profile, and I'm actually going to click down, and then I'm going to hit CMYK. So it's just a different form of like the colors and stuff. And to be honest, I can't really like go into detail on it. Someone has explained it. I've listened to it several times, but I can't recite it back to you. So, but it's just different color printing, and it makes the colors come out better. But it is a pro feature. So that's just something to keep in mind. That is a pro feature, but honestly, I'm like, to me, it's worth it. And the things come out so much better than just the regular print because I have tried both. Okay, so I just pulled this up off my desktop. And so it brings me into here, into like the viewfinder, like the preview section. And then I'm going to hit file. I'm going to go all the way down to print. And I'm going to select obviously my printer. I'm going to go to these default settings, and I go down to color fine. I feel like it did help. Like it definitely helped when I was comparing it to other prints. So I do that. And then down here, I just make sure I hit like the best quality and things like that. So now we're going to go over to the printer. I am only printing one right now, just to make sure it looks good. The colors are going to come out well. The size is what I want because I just don't want to waste any paper unnecessarily. It's still printing. It's still printing. So this is definitely something I would do if you were busy doing something else. I would have these being printed off, and then that way you're not just sitting around waiting. So normally if I'm printing off stuff, I'm either like editing a YouTube video, or I'm working on bookmarks, or I'm doing something else. I'm not just sitting here watching it print. Oh, it's coming out. It's going out. Okay, I know the angle's kind of weird. I'm going to change it in just a second. But so these did print off. I don't know about the size. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut these out, and then I'm going to see how they are. Because these ones, because they're just the recipe cards, I'm not going to be laminating these just because I was thinking of like the usage. And I think the usage is going to be a little bit different than like the bookmarks. So I'm not really worried about laminating these. I think they'll be just fine. But what's going to be really cute is I'm going to have several different recipes done, and then these are going to be bundled together as a set, and then they're going to be like wrapped in twine. They're going to be really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these, and then we'll see how they are. And we might have to redo them, but that's okay. That's the name of the game. Okay, so unfortunately, I think that these just might be a little too small. I think they just come across, they're just a little too small, and I just don't like the size of it, like in my hand. And I imagine like in the kitchen, it would be very frustrating. But on the bright side, the colors did come out really, really well. And so I kind of made them a little antique-y looking, and I did put some like little stains and stuff on it. So that's not the printer, I did that like as of creative things. So, but the colors came out really well, so I'm happy about that. So honestly, I just have to change the size of it, and then these will be good. So I may not be able to fit as many on a page, but we'll see. We will see. Okay, so I went through again and just did the whole process of what I showed you before. I just changed the size of it. I printed off another sheet, cut them out, and then so here you can kind of see the size difference between the two of them. And I think this one might be a little bit better. Because I also want something small enough where people can put it into like actual, if they already have like a recipe like tin or something like that, they can put it in there. There's not going to be a size problem. So that's why I didn't want to make them too big, but I also want to make them legible. So, but I think these came out really cute. So the colors work really, really well. So if you're having issues with the coloring, I would play around with like the settings on your printer, on the computer, see what kind of settings you have, like what features you have, and kind of go from there. Hopefully you get some really cool stuff printed off. I'd love to see what you guys make too. So definitely subscribe if you guys haven't already. I'd love to have you around, especially if you'd like to see more of these kind of like behind the scenes small business things. And don't forget to give me a like as well. It really helps me out. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.